The final question I'll ask you on this issue of the Daily Wire centres around the Christ is King, because it had long been a core slogan of people like Nick Fuentes and other, for want of a better phrase, white supremacists, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. The Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring said on X, "How is saying Christ is King anti-Semitic? The same way anything becomes anti-Semitic when it's used for the purpose of expressing anti-Semitism. It's like asking, how does a shovel become a murder weapon when it's used to murder someone? This isn't hard. A shovel is not innately a murder weapon. Saying Christ is King is not innately anti-Semitic. It's all about how a thing is used. Saying Christ is King for an evil purpose, like using it as a weapon to express your hatred or disdain for the Jews, is a grave sin. God will not be mocked. Invoking him in vain self-promotion or to troll Jews or to attack your political rivals is to carry forth his name in vain." What would your response be to that?
My response would be that I am an unapologetic free market capitalist. I think Jeremy Boring, as the co-CEO of Daily Wire, went to the market with his idea on Christ is King, and the market has a right to respond. They believe in what he's saying and they think that what he is saying is true and is right, then they will support the Daily Wire and they will support their mission. If they believe that it is wrong, then they will stop supporting the Daily Wire. I can't speak on behalf of Jeremy Boring. You'd have to book him and he can talk more about his belief that Christ is King. It can be used like a shovel to murder people. You know, what I would say for me is I don't agree with that. And so if you find me saying Christ is King to be abhorrent, same thing. You don't have to support me. You don't have to follow me. But let me tell you, I'm going to continue to declare that Jesus Christ is the King of Kings.
Nick Fuentes, who is a Holocaust denier, supported you in what he said was your full-fledged war against the Jews. He said, "This is the face of a total Jewish defeat. We effing got your back, Candace. They're filth." What would you say to that?
I would never, ever, ever describe Jewish people as a whole as filth. I don't know what the context of that is. Is he referring to the Rabbi Barclay interview? But just to be clear, on my record here, I have had wonderful relationships with Jewish people all throughout my life. Before I was at Daily Wire, I was at PragerU. Dennis Prager, Marissa Straight run that company. Marissa Straight is a former IDF soldier. That woman treated me like gold. We never had any issues whatsoever. They were wonderful to me. So I genuinely don't know the context of where or why he said that, but I'm just acknowledging that he said the word filth and that I used the word filth to describe Rabbi Shmuley, who you have had on this show. And I just want to make it clear to everyone watching that Rabbi Shmuley is in fact a piece of filth.
Right, but you would not support a full-fledged war against the Jews.
No, no. Or any, by the way, I also would not support a full-fledged war against Muslims. I'm not supporting a full-fledged war against Christians. And there are some full-fledged wars being launched against Christians.
So do you feel uncomfortable? So a reasonable question is, do you feel uncomfortable about having support from people like Nick Fuentes then?
I think it is a absolute nonsense for people. I have on Twitter alone 5.5 million followers. I think it's pointedly ridiculous when people do this and they find a comment and they go, "Do you feel uncomfortable about the fact that this person said this?" I've had the FBI working with me because there are people that read my tweets and believe that we are in a relationship. I had a person who literally left a mental facility because he thought every single one of my tweets was a sign of love and I was speaking in code to him. What I'm not going to do is respond to this tactic of pretending that I'm somehow responsible for the 20 million followers and that I should be knowing what they are saying on their private platforms or their personal platforms or their public platforms every minute of every day. It's a nonsense. You know it's nonsense right now, Piers. If I went into your comments and dug it up and said, "Do you support this?" And it's just, let's just not do that.
Well, no,
hold me accountable for the things.
Hold
me accountable.
Nick Fuentes is not just one of your
say.
20 million followers. Nick Fuentes has millions of followers himself.
Where does he have? No, stop. Where does he have millions of followers? What platform?
Multiple platforms.
No. He's banned.
He's banned from.
This is very interesting to me because
he's banned from X now. Yeah, he wasn't before.
He does not have. No. He was actually. He does not have. He was banned from YouTube. He was banned from X. He was banned from what is the. He's literally been banned from everywhere. So when you say something like that, I'm asking you which platform. You just made a statement. He has millions of followers.
Well, what I
think you're being hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Which platform does Nick Fuentes have millions of followers on?
Well, he doesn't now. He's been banned.
No. Where? Which platform did he ever have millions of followers on? He is on X. He does not have millions of followers. So which platform did he ever have millions of followers on?
Well, how many followers has he got?
Okay, so you don't even know the answer. So you're just being hyperbolic again. You're creating this argument that I am responsible.
My point was not about a specific number of his followers.
No, he's not just, he's got millions of followers. That's just not true.
He has a follower.
Pierce, it's just simply not true.
Candace,
I answered your question. Again, you asked me a statement about what he said, and if I agreed with it. I told you, no, I would never want a war against the Jews.
No, but my question was, do you feel
me what I think, and ask me whether I want to respond to something, whether I agree with something.
My question was, do you feel uncomfortable about him supporting you? He's a high-profile person, and he said that. Do you feel comfortable, given the context of how you left the Daily Wire and their belief?
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
I do not know what is the context of what you just said to me. As I just said to you, if it was pertaining to Rabbi Shmuley, who I think is a piece of filth, who has gotten away with everything in the media, then I am grateful that people are understanding that that man has harassed me for 2 years. And I am grateful that for any person that has supported me in responding to Rabbi Shmuley and his hag daughter, okay? If you are going to pointedly ask me if I am uncomfortable with the fact that Nick Fuentes also believes that Christ is king, I want every single person in the world to declare Christ is king, whether you believe them to be a Nazi, a white supremacist, a Jew, a Muslim. It is the phrase itself that I want declared, okay? That's it. That's it, okay?
Let's turn to, I would say, a less contentious matter, but it's not really. It's Kanye West. I interviewed him at length towards the end of last year. You've been pretty supportive of Ye, formerly Kanye West, even after he tweeted DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. He posted, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And you wrote on the social media site Parler, if you're an honest person, you do not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. I mean, I don't know, why would you conclude that? Because it seems to me it's a pretty brazen statement of anti-Semitism to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. How else could it possibly how else could it be construed?
Yeah, sure. I can tell you how else it can be construed, because this is one of the things that's fascinating. First, I'd like to point to how interesting it is that the entire world came down on Kanye West, canceled him, took away his contracts, made his entire family come out and make statements against him when he tweeted that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people, I think is what he wrote verbatim. And now we fast forward to today when Israel is literally going DEFCON 3 on Palestinians.
He didn't say some, he said on Jewish people.
Okay, sure. And now we fast forward to today when Israel is literally going DEFCON 3 on Palestinians, and those same media members seem extremely cautious in their language. So the tweet is actual death, but the actual bombs being dropped, for some reason, real violence is something that the media can get comfortable with. I'd like to point to that because now some time has passed. But to answer your question of how I could have said that statement, obviously you understand Ye is my friend, and I understood what was happening in his life and what had caused him to say that. He said when he woke up, he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Who's talking about specific Jewish people in his life that he believed had been taking advantage of him. And he then produced, and for whatever reason, the media was not interested in covering it extensively, a tweet from one of those people, Harley Pasternak, threatening to put him on a Psych 5150 hold and to drug him, and so that his visits with his kids wouldn't be the same. How Harley Pasternak has not been chased out of Hollywood after threatening to drug someone and take their kids away is the question that you should be asking. Now, I was privy not only to what Harley Pasternak was saying to him, but also to what 4 other happened to be Jewish people were saying to him at that time. And I think what happened is that he snapped, and he suddenly wanted to aggressively attack those individuals and basically say that he was tired.
Yeah, but Candace, none of that changes the fact that what he tweeted was clearly anti-Semitic. When you say, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, that is a statement of anti-Semitism, indisputably. The idea that you would be dishonest if you didn't see that for what it was, whatever the circumstances, whatever was going on behind the scenes, for a guy with his massive following, which I think we can agree was indisputably massive at the time, for him to state that in public on a social media platform was a brazen act of disgusting anti-Semitism. And all right, just to be clear, I didn't tweet on Parler. I, on my podcast, gave a
full statement saying that if we're being honest, you did not think that he was going to go kill some Jewish people. You didn't. And I think that if we're being honest,
well, you said if you're an honest person, you
thought,
did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. I did think it was anti-Semitic. Everybody did.
Okay.
But you didn't. Why?
No, because I knew the backstory, so I had more information than the public had.
Yeah, but the statement is unambiguous. The statement had no clarification. It was unambiguous. It was clear.
Yeah, and then when he clarified, when he did try to clarify it, nobody paid attention. So can I ask you, why did you try to book Harley Pasternak after you saw what he tweeted to Kanye?
No, I booked Kanye himself, and I interviewed him for 2 hours.
Yeah, but were you interested? That was thereafter when he showed the tweets of what Harley Pasternak said to him. Were you outraged by the idea that a Jewish man would threaten to drug someone so that they couldn't see their family? Were you out? Is that outrageous? Is that anti-black? Do you think that that's racist?
Well, whatever the circumstances of that wasn't.
No. Piers, answer the question, because you're quick to say that a threat that you perceived, the language of him saying that he was going to go DEFCON 3, and just to be clear, DEFCON 3 is a defensive military position on some Jewish people, or Jewish people as a whole. I don't remember the exact tweet. You just said that you felt that that was clearly anti-Semitic, and now I'm asking you, is it clearly racist? What is it clearly when a Jewish man says to a black man, okay, that they're going to drug them out of their minds, effectively MK Ultra them, and your visits with your children will never be the same? Because if you're asking me between the two, which is worse, it's obviously what Harley Pasternak wrote to Kanye West, which was not reported in the media.
Because he didn't put that in the tweet.
Okay, but Kanye tweeted it. Kanye tweeted it publicly, what Harley Pasternak said.
He did after the furore blew over his